Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Outcasts Podcast. I'm your host, Jake Shelley. I'm here with Jack Salmon, Zach Ives, Whit Ives, and Jack Powers. Today we are without Casey Honigbaum.
Or Casey Honey Bunches of Oats.
Or Casey Hot Rod.
Or Casey Honigbam.
Casey Hockey Bod.
We're without Casey Honigbaum today. Our final member of the Outcast, the last member to join. We have Jack Salmon back with us today, and today we're going to be talking about the MLB in this podcast. And boys, it seems like it's been a year since winter meetings has happened. There hasn't been a whole lot of stuff going on since the Edwin Encarnacion deal that went down with the Cleveland Indians, but there are some notable things that have occurred, including the Dyson trade from Kansas City Royals. Gerard Dyson is now on the Seattle Mariners in exchange for Nathan Carnes, I believe.
Yeah.
Mariners have bolstered their team with the acquisition. Well, I guess it's not the acquisition. Yeah, sure it is. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it is.
Gerard Dyson, and they signed Giovanni Gallardo.
Traded him.
They traded him from Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
So the AL West has the Seattle Mariners, Nelson Cruz, Robbie Cano, Kyle Seager. What are you guys seeing out of this trade? Do you think it was a positive two deals for the Mariners, or
They gave up. They got Gerard Dyson for nothing.
Yeah.
Like this trade is more focus on me. I see more focus on like what the Royals are doing rather than what the Mariners did. Like the Royals gave up from their World Series group. They gave up two of their core players for unknown players. Like they didn't get elite prospects for either Davis or.
Well, they got
Dyson.
Jorge Soler for Davis,
The
though.
core group of
Dyson
World
was
Series.
he 100% was part of the core.
Dyson gave them an aspect on the base paths that
Yeah, off the
That's
bench.
what speed
is
do.
electric.
and he also gave them an awesome Twitter or awesome Instagram name in Mr. Zumbia1. That's just
That's true.
that's just a legendary Instagram name. He is fast. Like we could say the Royals had two of the faster MLB players on their team.
Yeah, Kendrys Morales.
At one time, Kendrys Morales. Wait, was he on the team when Billy Butler was on the team?
No,
he was not.
no.
Reference also.
But they had Terrence Gore and they had Gerard Dyson at one point.
And
And
Lorenzo
Lorenzo
Kane's
Kane.
pretty fast.
Yeah, Lorenzo.
And then so you look at with Dyson in that outfield when he was on Kansas City. I mean, Kane patrolling the outfield, Dyson when he was out there. That's speed, that's range. It was
Also, Dyson hit that walk-off.
and the walk.
It wasn't a walk-off. It was on the eighth. It was
Really?
in the eighth. It was
Yeah.
in the
It
eighth
was in the
against
They were,
Dyson
the
also
they were
did a
playing
backflip.
Cleveland.
off. You know who it was off, right?
Was it
Do
off?
I even have to say it?
Brian Shaw. What a surprise.
So to make a long story short, Seattle picked up a good outfielder. in
Yeah,
Dyson.
Seattle did really well
That's
here.
Good trade for Seattle.
The only thing that I don't get is they already have Leonis Martin, who is like one of the premier defensive dudes in center field. So,
Yeah, I can see that.
like, I guess Martin is because Safeco's big. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, Boomstick's just gonna play right, or he's just gonna DH, right?
I don't know. It's
He's a liability.
yeah.
But
They gotta
because
keep him
he's a
safe.
liability, you can pass that if you have Dyson in center and Martin in left,
Yeah.
because they can pick up so much
True.
that it would be okay to have someone who's not.
They're gonna be a decent team. Do you guys think they can contend for the West title?
I think so
I
because
think
listen,
so.
you got Mike Trout and the Angels who
The
I don't know-
Angels.
I don't know what to
according
expect.
Pacoda, the Angels are projected to get a wild card this year.
According to who?
Pacoda. It's like this one of the sabermetric groups.
Yeah, I know
Because
what
they
you're
have all their pitchers, young pitchers,
Yeah,
young
they do.
controllable pitchers, all
do
coming back.
they still have Santiago, don't they?
No, they traded him for. They traded him Angels and Twins.
Oh yeah, they
sorry,
traded
sorry, I
him
was
for
thinking. Nolasco.
yes, you got it. Nolasco. So Mike Trout is
Mike
one
Trout.
of the
One of?
he's 99
He
overall.
is.
He's code.
Yeah, he is. He's a cheat code in the MLB. Won the MVP. You guys agree with that, by the way?
Of course.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
not-
he might be the best total baseball player.
In
Yeah.
a while-
At
in
a
long
time, Andrew McCutcheon was up there in all-around defensive, offensive
Yes.
threat in the MLB, but he slipped off.
he fell off a cliff essentially.
Yeah, as soon as the dreads got lopped off, it was game over for
former MVP.
Yeah, the former MVP. I think that with the Angels, you were right, Powers. They have young pitching.
Yeah, they have like Richards.
I'd give him time though, because
Heaney.
you have a lot of veterans on the Mariners, and that's a team that has been, without playoffs for a good.
Isn't this year 17? This will be.
I think so. Just a chunk of talent on that team, a mix of younger and more experienced players. I think it'll be interesting to see. Plus, Robbie Cano in his second year with Seattle. It was his second year.
This is his.
I think this is his third year now.
Yeah, I know, but I'm
It's his
saying.
second.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
last
yeah.
year was
Yeah.
his second.
So in his second year, he showed He showed the hitter that he
Hit
was on New
39
York.
Tate muffins.
Yeah,
And then
but his first year wasn't very good.
It was decent.
He was inconsistent for Robbie Cano,
Last
but now
year he had a Robbie Cano.
now he's getting back to it. And if he can play well, and
you pair him with Segura up the middle.
that's
also,
right.
That's
Yeah.
also lineup protection.
Segura had the most hits in the National League last year, I believe.
Yeah, but come on, that's
you-
not. He's not gonna sustain that. He's not
No,
gonna
but it's-
sustain that.
Yeah, but he still
level.
showed that he can get on base
and
and
it's
get
still
hits.
and he provides another base running spark to go
Yeah,
with Dyson.
spark.
And he's also
He
he's
gets
lineup
on base,
protection.
sets the table for Cano, for NC Boomstick.
Yeah,
for
you're
Seager.
gonna get,
Plus you have Dyson up there. He's fast. He gets on base.
Yeah,
There'll be
he's
offensive
super
production.
off.
They
from
will
Seattle
score runs.
with an above average.
But the thing is, they're
defense.
pitching. They got Gallardo. Who else do they have
They
though?
have him.
King
they have
Felix.
King Felix.
He's been bad.
But he has
Yeah,
not
he had an
been
off
good
year.
He had
recently.
off 2 years.
Yeah, and then let's see what happens when he actually has a good
Paxton.
offense back. now.
Well, but he
Right.
had a
Well, same thing with the Red Sox. Rick Porcello's not Cy Young unless he has
Right.
the whole cast.
I can agree with that.
Yeah,
Porcello
you don't need to
was
agree.
not
It's
Cy
That was a joke.
what was?
Rick
Porcello
Porcello was
winning
not the
the
Cy
Cy
Young
Young.
winner.
No,
It
All
but
was
right, let's
Justin
not
Verlander.
turn this into a Boston. Bash.
we've already
It's
talked
not.
about this. We
I
don't.
don't think I got to fully vent, but it's okay.
Justin
That's all right, you weren't here.
I was-
I do think that Verlander should have won the Cy Young award.
Well, I
second
mean,
that
just
statement.
Kate Upton, what she said should have won him the Cy Young when she went off. Oh, come on.
He found the one. I'll tell you that.
Moving right along.
Yeah, we're gonna move along.
You guys
Who
wanna-
else in the AL West can contend with them? Houston?
Houston
Yes,
and the Rangers.
yes,
that could be one
yes.
of the better divisions in baseball.
I think it could be.
yes,
I
I,
think-
The
would
question with
agree.
Houston is, do they have enough pitching? Because
Okay.
they're going to have a great offense. Because they went out. Actually, I
Well,
don't
they
even
got
know, to be
McCullers.
Lance. Lance is good. He was hurt all last year.
fair.
Dallas.
thinking-
If Dallas Keuchel can tap into his Cy Young season at all, then they can win the West.
Really, how many pitchers do they have that are good pitchers? Besides if Keuchel has a good year, which we don't know because
McCullers.
he's had 2 years and he had a good year. and a bad
They
year.
have what's his name, Davinsky.
Yeah.
He's good. They had one other dude who was in.
McHugh.
Yeah,
McHugh
they're like-
pitched well last year.
They have like some guys who could end up having good seasons, but I don't know. It'll
Yeah,
be-
they're just
I
like
think
they're like an
They're
offensive.
like the Texas Rangers.
What?
no,
they're
the
like
Rangers
the-
have Cole Hamels
No,
and they
hear
have
me
Yu
out.
Darvish.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
and
They're
they
gonna
have
be
the
like the
Dutch oven.
Texas Rangers from last year. They're gonna be They're gonna be an offensive team with pitching. Texas pitching was bad.
You
last
cannot
year.
call them pitching.
Yes, I can.
Yu
Go look
Darvish.
at statistics.
Oh.
They had 2 pitchers.
By statistics,
They had one of the highest ERAs in all of baseball.
Yeah.
Houston
Houston
has
is
come from their bullpen.
Houston is going to be an offensive powerhouse.
Yeah,
They'll
I
probably
agree with
find their way into they'll find their way into the playoffs, but they won't go far because of that lack of significant power pitching.
Well, yeah, and then
So I think we can agree.
wild card spot for Houston. Maybe.
So I'm going to bring up this question right
Bring
here.
it up. Go on.
In the past years, the NL Central has been the best division in baseball.
It's
well,
not the NL
kinda.
Central anymore. No, it has been because
Well, 'cause
when
they-
you
they
had
also
the Cubs
have-
and the Pirates like 2
Yeah,
years
but-
ago.
Yeah,
they all-
also
they
the
all won,
Reds.
like,
That
Cardinals.
90
division's
plus years,
kind of
90 plus
is
wins.
artificially inflated because those teams get to beat up on the Brewers and the Reds.
No, stop,
38
stop.
times.
What?
I'm saying a few years ago, the Cubs were a rising team. The Pirates were very good. The Cardinals were very good. The Reds were. Yeah,
If you go back far enough, the Reds were really
the
good.
Reds were good, and the Brewers were awful. But that's okay
No, the
because
Brew
the
Crew
four.
was decent a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
far
but
enough.
four of the
Yeah.
5 teams were legitimate postseason threats to a certain degree. That's now shifted, and I think we know that. What do you think the NL West could replace the NL Central as the
NL
best?
West or
division?
AL West.
AL West.
I think the
AL West,
NL West
my
will
fault.
continue to be a battle between 2 teams.
No, the Rockies might be decent,
I think the
Or
Rockies.
the
are gonna
Rockies.
win that
but
division.
it might take a little more time for them. But I think the AL West is probably going to be one of the better divisions in baseball.
Yes.
What do you think the best division in baseball is? Whit?
Oh. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be able to say for next year or even it was hard last year because if you put the Cubs in a division, they just elevate that division last year and the year before. I think the AL East.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Especially in the next couple years.
And they're
Well, I could see some reasons why.
But they're consistently one of the better divisions
Yes.
in the league, even if they're not the best.
They're
And I
cons-
think
They're
with the-
They're
consistently
consistently one of the
three
top
teams
six,
that are
I would
good.
say.
yeah.
They're consistently 3 teams are good, and the other 2 are just god awful. But wait, what did you say?
I said they're one of the top 6 divisions in baseball consistently.
Congrats, that was awful.
No one realized.
But
Right over my
I would say, best division in baseball for me. I don't know. That's tough.
Well,
I want to say the AL Central.
The AL Central's had 3 World Series representatives the last 3 years.
Yeah, but okay, the
But
Indians are going to be
only
very
have one
good.
team. They only have one team.
The Royals
right
are
now.
going to be bad. The Twins are going to be god awful. The
Yeah.
Red Sox aren't going to be
The AL
that good.
Central has one legitimate postseason team.
And that's the Indians.
Yeah.
It's the AL West.
I don't know. The magic of Eric Haas and the boys could swing a while.
They've taken the towel and waved it.
Yeah, they're not going to be good. I think it's the AL West.
Yeah, I think it's the AL West too. Maybe the NL West.
Especially if what Jack is saying comes true about if say the Angels end up playing well for the first time in forever, and Trout's finally on a winning team. If they play well, Texas and Houston are probably going to
I
play
think
well.
the
and
NL
Mariners
East
have
might
the
be up there
potential.
too.
Yeah.
They
The
have
Mets and
the
Nationals
pitching-
is going to be a
the
Yeah.
Marlins
that's
aren't
going to be
horrible.
a dogfight to the end.
The Marlins are okay.
The Marlins
Yeah.
are on the cusp. They
The
don't
Mets have the
pitching.
best pitching staff in baseball.
Yep.
The Nationals
Have a
have
better lineup, I would say.
yeah. But come on, the Mets have Neil Walker.
They don't play. If they found a way to get big league tie in the lineup every day.
Then they might be successful.
Yeah, we'll have Duda back. We'll have Darno throw.
Well, I mean, Duda's like good for hitting, but
Dude,
throwing
natural.
home doesn't work out.
Throw to third, no problem. Second, no problem. Home, 50 cent.
Yeah, okay. So Jack,
Push
need I
some
remind
Kardashian
you
style.
that the Indians were up 3-1 in the World Series.
Need I remind you, what's his name? Connor Gillespie?
Okay.
Gillespie.
Gillespie?
Okay, yeah, but that Mets team is not the Mets that they could have been.
That is very
They wouldn't
true.
have been in the wild card position if they have all of their starting pitchers.
The fact that they made the wild card was awesome, considering how damaged they were last year.
I
The
mean,
Mets
you
were
can
damaged goods.
single-handedly thank Cabrera for that one.
Cabrera said, "Boys, hop on."
Struble said, "Hop on, let's go to the wild card game."
Jose Reyes came home, made some rap music.
Lame Laza, what a name.
It's pronounced Lame Laza, but anyway.
No, it's Lame Laza because he's lame. He's
that
not.
was
lame.
You tried to throw yourself an alley-oop there, and it was just weak.
He threw it into the 5th row.
You know when you're playing 2K and you throw it off the glass and they do a layup?
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Hey, as long as the basket counted, come on. So we talk AL West. Is there anything else that's really notable in the MLB at this?
I mean, you got Joey Bats and Mark Trumbo still on the market.
Yeah, that's been interesting. The market for power hitting players has just been dead. I mean, Edwin turned it down. What did he turn down from the Blue Jays?
480.
480, and what did he got? 360.
He got 360 with a team option, so max he can get is 481.
So he could still he could match with the.
Yeah,
Blue
but
Jays offer.
now it's the 4th year is not guaranteed.
right. So I
For
mean,
anybody who thinks that he's earning $481 million, no, it's 4 years, $81 million. Just so
good
Yeah.
We
clarification.
get little
That's-
clarification there.
My bad.
it's okay.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
That's
Yeah,
why we
except
have
we can
that's
talk
why we have
about this.
clarifications.
We can talk about this. In his contract, Edwin has a attendance clause. So every time, so when the Indians get 2 million fans, they've been struggling with attendance recently. When they get 2 million fans, Edwin gets an extra $125,000, and it's like this for every 50,000 fans after 2 million. So if they get 3 million fans total, he gets an extra $1 million.
So is this over the course of the season? If they get if they get over 2 million fans, he starts getting more money.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's an interesting incentive.
it's weird. It's weird because
Well, it just reminds you that although this is sport, it's also a business, and
very much so.
I think that. I mean, how do you get more fans? You just go to public events in Cleveland, and then the Believelanders are like, "Oh, we gotta go
Okay.
see Edwin."
Sign more autograph.
no. So
Not
the
even-
thing is,
I went with Jack to a Cleveland game last August when the Indians were playing some of the best baseball out of all of the major leagues.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were a shoo-in for the playoffs. They were like 10 games up in the division, and their stadium was not even half full,
yeah.
which
So
doesn't make sense to me.
the thing about that is that we'll say up until this past season, the Indians fans have seen the Dolan ownership take their favorite players and trade them, and they finally lost trust in the ownership. So the Indians they sold out 455 games in a row, which was a major league record.
When was this?
This was in the 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, when they had a bomb squad.
Yeah, but
when they went to the World Series and didn't win.
Yeah, the Indians, their attendance will be up
Just
this year.
I think it will be. I mean,
It will be.
anytime you sign a big slugger.
They signed the guy.
They were in the
No,
World
well-
Series last year. They were
Well,
attendance
here's
will be
another thing.
They're one of the
As
teams
much
to
as we
beat.
don't like to admit it, because we all think that baseball is the best sport.
Yeah.
Oh,
We can all agree on that.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people don't. What people want to see is like 90s McGuire versus Sosa. They want to see a bunch of home runs and, oh, wow, he just pimped that home run. That's why I'm glad I paid, how much money for this ticket.
It's
Anytime-
offense is exciting.
Yeah, so anytime you sign a juggernaut like Edwin
win.
Encarnacion, he's going to
Yeah,
bring
but
more
if you
people
think
in.
about
And think about it. Brantley's coming back too. That the runs for the Indians should increase.
And also, they made it to the World Series, so baseball fans who have been asleep in the city of Cleveland, if they have been,
Stay woke. They'll be
there's
ready.
some crazy people in
They
Cleveland.
have already, like the lower bowl of the stadium.
Yeah.
Every game for those seats have been sold out already.
Now you
So
that's
ticket
promising.
sales are already skyrocketed.
Well, yeah, they went to the World Series. They should.
They went to the World Series and they
Signed
signed a
big
huge
name free
offensive
agent.
player.
Yeah, and they signed offense.
Yeah, they're shelling out money.
And
Yeah.
they're
So you have to give it to the Cleveland Indians front office.
Mark Antonetti.
Yeah, Chris Antonetti.
Mark D'Antoni.
Nope.
Wait a minute.
He did a fantastic job. This is his first full year. He did a great job.
What a job he did.
What a job.
Yeah, so I can't wait. I think we could see a rematch in Cubs and Indians.
I do too.
No, Mets Indians.
I think that would be a very good
if the
series.
Mets-
Cubs Indians,
I think
or
if
not
the
Cubs
Mets
Indians,
pitching
Cubs Mets.
staff-
If you wanted the best pitching staffs are the Mets and the Indians.
Well, the Mets have the best staff right now, but there are too many question marks to just assume they have the best staff.
Harvey's gonna come back. He got rid of his
Maybe.
rib that was pinching his shoulder. They took out a rib. Harvey will come back chucking.
Maybe we'll see if the Dark Knight can return. Gotham needs
Gotham.
saved.
Yes.
Will he rise? Or will
Zach
he
Wheeler's
fall?
gonna show up for the first time in 2 years.
Zach Wheeler will get on the mound and in warm-ups hurt his arm. It's just proven.
So outside of Syndergaard, and I guess I'll give him DeGrom. So they got two.
DeGrom had surgery.
locks.
DeGrom
Yeah, I know
had
that.
surgery on his elbow because his nerve was
Okay,
something
so
messed up.
they have one starter locked in.
And even Syndergaard sort of scares me because of how hard he throws.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Matz has elbow problems.
And I think
so-
that we were talking about this with
There's a lot of
Aroldis
questions.
Chapman too. Why the Yankees signed him for 4 years?
5
Five
years.
for like
5
80.
years, $80 million.
This is why you cannot sign a flamethrower for
5 years.
Yeah, that just doesn't work.
Yeah, you're pushing the envelope when you sign him for more than 3.
So, but with Syndergaard, he's a starting pitcher. He's not even a one-inning guy, and he can touch 101.
101.
It's
When he gets juiced.
what do you expect? That's
Throws
just
a
that's
92
scary.
mile an hour slider.
Who's that guy that they have? Who they bring up Lupo or something like
Lugo.
that?
Seth Lugo.
Lugo.
He's pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
He-
good. And
his-
then we have
his
Robert
curveball.
Giselman.
Lugo
the Winter
has-
Soldier.
Spin rates. His spin rate is one of the best for his curveball. Spin rate determines how much a pitch moves. Don't give me that look.
Okay.
True.
Well, I'm just saying, what's the spin rate
That's
on a
physics.
knuckleball?
0.
Exactly.
But-
Look how much those move.
Oh.
You're gonna.
Oh.
No, don't try to compare knuckleballs.
Sharp.
to
Yeah,
that.
okay, all right, hold on. Whoa. Now we're getting into a physics argument here.
Okay.
I don't want to talk physics. I dropped that class this year.
Are we nerds?
We're Jack is nudging me about this Hall of Fame ballot that we filled out. The members of the Outcasts filled out a.
Except for Casey Honeycomb.
No, he did, and it's in the
Filled it
pile
out.
of papers.
Casey filled it
But
out.
we left it on the ground because he's not here.
Yeah, because he's not here. I didn't fill one out because I was too lazy to print out another copy. So we're gonna discuss the Hall of Fame 2017 class and who we believe should be in it. We'll start with Jack Salmon. Out of the 18 people, what were the 10 that you chose?
Let me just take you down through the list. I think I chose 10. Might have only chose 9. We'll see. First off, Jeff Bagwell, 7th year on the ballot. He barely missed out last year. He's a shoo-in my opinion. Then we have Trevor Hoffman, one of the greatest closing pitchers of all time. I think.
Second greatest by numbers.
Yep, I'm a Yankees fan right there. Okay. Next, I chose Kurt Schilling. The bloody sock changed my opinion on him, so I think he belongs in. Edgar Martinez, picked him.
One of the best DH hitter of all time.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's not even close.
He belongs in. Fred McGriff. I thought he was just a very solid player.
Yeah, what's the real reason you chose him?
He is very good in MLB The Show.
Yes.
Next,
All right, there
next
it
I
is.
chose Billy Wagner, another lights out closer. Played for the Mets, so I sort of remember watching him play. I also have Vladimir Guerrero. Then I have Jorge Posada and Jason Varitek. And I only chose Varitek because he won the Little League World Series, College World Series, and World Series. I thought that was
And he punched A-Rod in the face.
all worthy
Okay, that's a
reasons.
Red Sox fan response. Let's step away from this, boys. Come on.
To be fair, A-Rod deserved that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are my picks. 1, 2, 3,
I voted for
4,
Pedro
5,
'cause
6,
he threw
7,
down
8.
Dodgers.
That was only 9 picks, by the way. So maybe I should
That's
pick
just
one
mean.
more.
Yeah, go ahead. Pick one more just for the.
I'm gonna say Gary Sheffield for the final pick.
I like
he
that.
was a Met.
Not because he was a Met, because he had over 500 home runs.
Yeah, that's impressive. Zach, who do you have?
I had Jeff Bagwell. Like Jack said, he just missed it last year.
Just read them off. We can talk about
Tim
it.
Rain,
We can talk about it in a bit. Just
Trevor
read 'em off.
Trevor Hoffman, Barry Bonds,
PEDs,
Edgar Martinez, Mike Mussina, Fred McGriff, Sammy Sosa,
PEDs.
Ivan Rodriguez, and Vlad Guerrero.
Pudge.
Yvonne.
Refer to him as Pudge.
My list was pretty similar to Zach. I had a few differences. I went Bagwell, Raines, Clemens, Bonds, Martinez, Mussina, Larry Walker, Ivan Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez, and Vlad Guerrero.
Let it be noted, Jack Powers left off Trevor Hoffman.
Yes, because I am not gonna sit.
Nope, stop.
I'm not
We're
gonna.
No,
I'm not
we're,
gonna.
we're gonna talk about this in a second. Read yours out.
Bagwell, Hoffman, Kurt Schilling, Edgar Martinez, McGriff, Ivan Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez, Vladdy, Jorge Posada, and Varitek.
Okay, I'm gonna just make my picks right here. This is my 10 right here. Jeff Bagwell, Trevor Hoffman, Edgar Martinez, Barry Bonds, Mike Mussina. I'll go Jeff Kent and Larry Walker.
Okay.
Gary Sheffield, Sammy Sosa, Vladimir Guerrero. I think I have one. And I can take Pudge. I agree on Pudge. Let's talk about some of the.
Can I say why I didn't put?
Yeah,
Hoffman
we can
in
talk
there?
about Trevor
Okay.
Hoffman and Jack.
This is the only reason why. I am not going to put in a specialty pitcher, which is a relief pitcher, until they put in the best specialty hitter, Edgar Martinez.
Okay.
Can they
That's-
both go in the same year?
Yeah, but also I'm looking at WAR. I'm looking at WAR here. His wins above replacement
tell me
was
what
not
his WAR
nearly
was.
as high as other players that I put in.
That is interesting. Wow, yeah, Hoffman's WAR is
Below 20.
Significantly lower.
Wow.
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 Okay, I will give that to you. Okay, Jack, I'll give that to you.
I'm
But
gonna-
I still think he belongs in the Hall of
Saves.
Fame.
Allow me to start a debate here, right quick. I did not vote for Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens,
Which
a
is
couple of you
foolish. Here's
did.
the thing. I think we should talk about this. Did they change the game of baseball?
Yes.
Did they
Yes.
cheat?
Yes.
Answer.
Did Pete Rose gamble? Yes.
Yes.
Does he belong in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
There you go.
No. He had the most hits ever.
Barry Bonds has the most home runs ever.
I don't care. He juiced. Gambling's not going to affect the
But-
number of hits that Pete Rose got.
It could.
Taking steroids is going to affect
don't-
the number of
Not
home runs that
physically.
Barry Bonds hit.
Maybe mentally. I don't know. You can connect all of the. I don't know.
Gambling? No, he didn't gamble until he was a manager.
Okay, listen.
That
I
didn't,
don't-
that
bet on
didn't
his own-
affect the
he
stats
didn't
he
bet-
put up as a player.
Let's not talk about Pete Rose. We're talking about this.
We're talking about Barry Bonds. This is what you do. You have to put them in the Hall of Fame. I don't care if you put an asterisk next to their name. I don't care what you do.
He belongs in the Hall of Shame.
He belongs in the Hall of Fame because despite the steroids and all that, what he did for baseball makes him a Hall of Famer. He hit so many home runs. He definitely brought up attendance. We were just talking about offensive production and attendance.
Yeah.
He brought up attendance. He hit baseballs into a bay.
Consistently.
So Brandon Belt does that nowadays too.
Stop.
Look,
Sometimes.
all right. I don't think we can argue the fact that Barry Bonds is one of the greatest players that anyone's ever witnessed play
Offensive
baseball.
players.
Offensive players that anybody's ever witnessed play baseball. Yeah. But I can't in good conscience put him on a Hall of Fame ballot because I know that he might not have been that awesome.
Exactly.
I
Without
can
help.
because here's this. Think of all the players that have. that have gone in the Hall of Fame from the 80s and the 90s who were never caught for steroids and know deep down that they took steroids but were never caught and there was no allegations.
Barry
Well,
Bonds
I'm not
never
saying-
failed the drug test.
Okay,
I'm not saying that those guys from the 80s, 90s, and all that should be in the Hall of Fame either, though. I didn't
So
get
what
to
are
put
you
them
going to
in the
go
Hall of
back
Fame,
and
but they
take
are.
all of them
So-
out of the Hall of Fame?
No, you obviously can't take them out.
Exactly.
But I wasn't
Here's my take.
in the 80s. I wasn't alive to have an opinion about whether or not those guys get. I'm allowed to have an opinion now about whether or not Barry Bonds goes.
The point of the Hall of Fame is to recognize the most talented and influential players of every era. Was Barry Bonds one of the most talented players of his era?
Yes. Was Sammy
he one
Sosa?
Of, was he
Yes.
one of the? Was Barry
Torch
Bonds
bat.
one of the most influential players of his era? Yes, he belongs in the Hall of Fame. It's that simple. We got to judge players what they did on the line, in between the lines, not what they did off the field.
You can
'Cause
say
then
that
you
for
can get
Sammy Sosa
biased.
too.
Yeah, but-
He corked his bat, whatever. He took steroids, whatever. What he did, I'm telling you, some of the most exciting videos you'll ever watch are the home run race videos. Just give me type in on YouTube home run race Sammy Sosa Mark McGwire highlights, and you will just get a 6-minute compilation of absolute moonshots that caused attendance to rise. I mean, you see Wrigley packed. You see people at St. Louis just idolizing Mark McGwire. And even when he was at Oakland with Jose Canseco bashing home runs into the fourth deck that doesn't even exist.
Well, how could they hit him into the fourth deck?
Exactly.
That's the point.
They're hitting him out of the park.
Moonshots, gone forever.
Aaron Hernandez.
Hernandez.
All right. A reason,
Dinger.
I voted for Larry Walker over Sammy Sosa just based on my number one baseball stats wins above replacement. I think that does the best job of taking all things into account, and Walker's is way higher. But I do think Sammy Sosa should be in the Hall of Fame. There were so many good players on this ballot.
It
I
is.
couldn't
It's
put
hard
him
to
on.
choose players.
good
And
list.
there's a list of catchers here that,
I don't think Veritek or Posada belong in the Hall of Fame
yeah, but why?
because they just aren't that great. They're good players. They were good for a long
The
time.
Yankees do not win
5 World Series.
without Posada.
You can't judge
Without
individual
Veritek for the Red
players
Sox
by
and
World
their
Series
drought.
titles.
No.
Exactly.
No, without Veritek,
Without
the Red
Ver-
Sox do not.
yeah.
What he did in the clubhouse too.
His
Yeah.
presence.
Clubhouse
yeah.
presence, yeah. But I don't know if you should necessarily give that a high factor into choosing.
Oh, the
Hall of
Red
Fame
Sox
players.
had Jonathan Papelbon and Jason Veritek and Josh Beckett on the same team. All hotheads who made them villainous. They were a villain team. And being that villain team, they kind of accepted that identity, and that's what I feel pushed them. They were like, okay, we're the bad boys. We're going to go out there and take it to you. And they did. 2004, 2007. Without Veritek, I don't think any of that is possible.
You could make, yeah.
Jorge Posada, switch hitting catcher who got the job done without batting gloves.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
he was a
dude
good
is a stud.
major league player.
He
was a
belongs in the
good
Hall of
player.
Fame.
No, he doesn't.
He does belong in the Hall
He
of Fame.
does.
Look at his numbers. Numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, but I don't think you just said it. It's not. You said based on what they did for the league. What Jorge Posada did for the league was also huge.
He didn't. It was never Jorge Posada's team. No one tuned into that Yankees team to watch Posada.
No, but okay, do people
You tuned in to watch the
Dude.
Core 4, though.
do people tune into Indians games to watch Lonnie Chisenhall?
No, and Lonnie Chisenhall doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, maybe he does. Maybe he goes on a 5-year run that is amazing. I'm
I
just saying.
still don't think he would belong though.
Yeah, people think Posada and Veritek should be in the Hall of Fame because they were on great teams.
They
But-
were on great teams, and they also offensively and defensively helped them out.
Yeah,
I-
they did. They were
the-
good players.
Yeah, and the catcher is that unique position where even if the offensive production struggles a bit, their game management, their effect on the pitching staff.
Look at Pudge Rodriguez. What
Pudge is a substantially better player than
what good
Posada.
teams were he on? What fantastic teams were he on?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Rangers.
The only thing he's getting recognition for is being
Great.
is being a diamond in the rough, being somebody who stands out because he's not on a good team. Posada, it was clouded by a Jeter,
It wasn't
an A-Rod.
crowded.
If you took Posada
He just
off
wasn't
the Yankees,
as
would
good
he
as
stand
those
out?
other guys.
Yeah, if you put Posada on give me a team that was awful in
The Padres.
okay, put Posada on the Padres.
They were not awful
He's
in the
going to get
90s.
recognition.
But
not saying
he
that
wouldn't
he's-
have as many good stats because his team wasn't as good.
Well, couldn't you? I don't know. Couldn't you say this about a lot of these players?
Okay,
But look at
despite all this arguing, this just goes to show how good of a class this is.
I don't think Posada. I think
Yeah.
Posada's going to get
It's a
left
good
off the ballot. I don't think he's
Well,
going
it's
to get
only
10%
isn't it
of the
only his
vote.
first year?
Yes.
Yeah, but if you don't get, what is it? I think it's 10% of the vote, you get left off the ballot. So, like, these guys, like Orlando Cabrera and Casey Blake, won't be on the ballot next year.
Matt Stairs.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting debate.
Oh, I want to talk about Edgar Martinez real quick. I saw something on Twitter the other day. It was like a Bleacher Report ranking the top 5 DHs of all time. He wasn't even on the list.
He's
What?
number one, and it's not even close. No one is.
Not close
No
whatsoever.
one's relative. He's on a different planet than every other DH.
You can talk about David Ortiz being a clutch hitter and being a
He wasn't a
an
DH his whole
awesome
career.
DH,
Okay.
but Edgar Martinez was literally, okay, we know that this guy's going to come in and get a hit.
So, can we agree this is a stat from the Ace of Spader? 7th inning, a 2-run difference. That's a clutch situation. 7th inning on, 2 runs or less, difference in score. That's clutch.
Oh, that's clutch.
Edgar
alright.
Martinez had a 45-point higher average than Ortiz. More home runs, more RBIs.
He had the clutch gene.
The clutch gene's not a thing.
Yes, it is.
But I don't care.
Just 'cause
With
you don't
David
have it doesn't
Ortiz
mean it's not
in
a thing,
2013, when David Ortiz hit that home run against
Benoit.
Detroit.
I think Edgar Martinez is leaps and bounds a better DH, but he didn't do more for his city than Ortiz did. I mean, Ortiz is
Well, yeah.
the
Well, yeah,
embodiment-
because-
But this
That doesn't mean Edgar
Ed-
doesn't belong in the Hall.
And that's
Well,
because
Edgar
Ken
Martinez,
Griffey
he's
was
on my
playing at the
ballot.
same time, too.
Martinez definitely.
I think both of
belongs.
them should be Hall of Famers.
Yes.
But the fact that
Yeah.
Ortiz is considered a first ballot guy when Edgar Martinez is leaps and bounds ahead of him is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it is. Martinez belongs in.
Yeah, I think. Well, we all know what the media puts on the front page is what people who
Well,
are.
so there and that right there, Jake just hit the nail on the head. It's the media representation of these players.
Because
that
nobody
impacts.
is really talking about Edgar
And
Martinez.
by the way, David Ortiz, steroid guy.
Yeah, but you know that I'm saying the media likes him too much to bring that up. They're not going to put David Ortiz's
Dave
career.
Manning was also on some steroid list.
Well-
Everybody hates A-Rod, so what you're going to see on ESPN or MLB Tonight, what you're going to see is something like A-Rod career, notable things in his career. Oh yeah, hitting championships, whatever, winning World Series, and then there's going to be boom, caught with
211 game
steroids.
suspension.
And then all you're going to see for David Ortiz is, likable guy, blah, 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 and then no steroids on there because it's what the media likes. If you are hated, you are going to be hated by the majority. If you are loved, you are going to be loved by the majority. It's just a media
Alex
thing.
Rodriguez is the best shortstop, probably the history of the game, all things considered. Offense too. Dude hit 600 home runs.
Yeah, but he didn't play shortstop.
He
Yeah,
played
yeah.
shortstop about half of his career.
If he never,
Ozzie Smith or Derek Jeter. I
Yes.
stand by it.
not Ozzie Smith.
Ruben
I-
Tejada.
well enough.
I do, but I think if you look at the years when Jeter and A-Rod were on different teams, both playing shortstop, A-Rod was better.
It's not
When
even
A-Rod
close.
first came up,
Okay, that's
and played
cool.
for
But
Seattle,
when he
and
played
then
when he played on the Yankees, he played third base.
Only because it was already Jeter's
Majority
team.
of his career.
Exactly.
Right.
If both guys got traded to let's say the Padres,
God, the
Jeter got traded to the Padres and A-Rod got traded to the Padres, A-Rod would have been playing shortstop.
Okay,
So I don't like that argument of A-Rod played third.
but it doesn't matter. A-Rod played third for the majority of his career. A-Rod's not remembered as a shortstop for the Seattle Mariners or the Rangers. He's remembered for the third baseman
Baseman at
from
the
New York.
Yankees.
Yeah.
Plus, he's a Bronx product, so
Isn't he from Miami?
The U.
Really?
he's well. Here's
He
the
went to the
controversy.
U.
He lived in the Bronx for a small portion of his childhood, and when you ask A-Rod where he's from, he'll say, "I'm from New York."
Okay.
But I don't know if he was actually born in. I don't know. I think that's gonna do it for our MLB podcast. We talk Hall of Fame. What else did we talk about? Oh, the AL West.
Yeah.
Talked about the Indians. We have to every time we
True.
get behind a mic. Make sure to like us on Twitter or follow us on Twitter at the Outcasts Pod. We are just itching for baseball season. Pitchers and catchers report in 35 days, so that's something to look forward to. I think it's February 12th, the first day they report. So I'm excited for that. Spring training is coming up, so Can't wait for that. Thanks for listening, and any last thoughts before we head out?
It's rough to do these without Hockey Bod with us.
Yeah.
Casey, honey bunches of notes. All right, thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at the Outcasts Pod. Thanks, guys.